come to the police state.
Oh, yes, indeed.
Yes.
Well, this appears to be how the new and improved amalgamated council is planning to operate under new rules. This appears to be a council that needs to impose police protection out the front and round the side.
We're here tonight because we believe in democracy. We believe we have a right to a local democracy, and we believe that this is a sham council that has no legitimacy at all, and we are here to bring our councils back. Bring back Leichhardt, Ashfield and Marrickville Council. Now I want to say that we have had some fantastic wins in recent weeks with the federal election, and we want to celebrate those wins. Look at what's happened with the Labor Party. We now have a commitment from the Labor Party that there will be no more federal funding of WestConnex.
I wanted to spend just a few minutes talking to you about how effective this community has been to force this undemocratic body to at least start some portion of listening. You'll remember there was a protest a few months ago, and before that protest, the administrator, the hand-picked appointed administrator from the Liberal government, said that the positions of every single council on West Connex, which was unanimously opposed, would be up for review, that he would be considering those and determining whether or not that position would stay. Well, as we know, as a result of community action, of the meeting that we held at the last council meeting, of the letter writing, of the telephone calling, we've now seen the rhetoric start to change.
Bring back our councils! Bring back our councils!
We're funding an organisation which is basically a dictatorship. It's not a democracy. And we want our democracy back. And there's one more point that I wanted to make. When you talk to the administration in those three councils, and I'm a former mayor of Leichhardt Council, what they tell you is the integration is happening apace, because the three councils agreed before the government even amalgamated them that the model of amalgamating Leichhardt, Ashfield and Marrickville was their preferred option. Labor and Liberal on every council voted together, they had a majority, and they agreed that was their preferred option. And so that process had started already. I think what happened is the councillors and the Labor mayors were just disappointed that they were sacked by the minister. Not so disappointed that the amalgamation happened. So why do we have to wait 16 long months for the next election? Why do we have to wait that long? Just enough time for West Connex to steamroll through the community. Just enough time for urban growth to destroy Parramatta Road with their renewal corridor plans. Just enough time to undermine the community action that's taken place. So I want to pay tribute to all of you. I want us to remember the administrator's not our enemy, but he needs to follow up his words with action, even now more than before. Now he claims he backs our community. Well, what are you doing? And what they have said is, well, look at item 6. They've said item 6 on the agenda. It says next meeting, in a couple of months' time, we'll come back and we'll tell you what we've done about the resolutions that the other councils had passed. You've had 3 months to do it. You knew they were urgent motions. We want to hear tonight what they're doing to implement those recommendations straight away. Is that right? Yes. Of course we do, because those resolutions unanimously moved by councils are the mandate of this community.
Specifically in terms of these points here, I think I'd really like to reinforce what's been said about the urgency that seems to be being overlooked. I'm a member of the Save Ashfield Park group. It's lovely you're going to come and talk to us, but I think bi-monthly meetings is completely inappropriate. We are currently speaking with one another on a daily basis.
The Haverfield Association and other groups have photographic evidence that both 3 Wolsey Street had original 1920s roof tiles, but these tiles were not salvaged. This is an example of the apparent confusion and inconsistency by the RMS and Sydney Motorway Corporation in implementing the conditions set by the infrastructure approval. Demolition of houses should cease immediately until the policy of assessing and salvaging heritage items is clarified, made transparent and implemented consistently.
I don't know whether to address you as your worship, because you have unlimited power and we have lost all of our power. But that's the point. What are we doing here? So I move a motion, and this is the motion that I move. I move an amendment to item 3, motion. This is 1A, to take place before 1. Moved. There's the following amendment. 1A brackets 1A. That's the lawyer's way of doing it. A plebiscite be held immediately of all 3 council electorates and declared before the 30th of September 2016 on whether to amalgamate. Quite obviously, that needs to be held immediately. If no, all councillors and councils be reinstated as of 1 October 2016. 3, if yes, meaning if we do want an amalgamation, a fresh election of councils be held on 30th of October 2016. And I hand up that motion here to be received into the minutes. Thank you very much.
That is the nature of a council meeting, is you get to present your views and I get to consider your views.
Inner West Council formally adopts a position of continued opposition in the strongest terms. The strongest terms to the WestConnex project. I cautiously welcome these comments relating to the upholding of the views of the previous 3 councils, but much, much more is expected. The damage to this council's reputation in respect to the enforced amalgamation is significant and will take a very long time to repair. Your words are welcome, sir, but the actions you will now take in support of these words will determine how effective you will ultimately be in regaining our lost confidence and trust. You are right in saying you have an obligation to minimise the impacts of this unwanted initiative. Efforts on that front are welcomed. However, I caution this does not become your primary concern and be the full extent of your efforts. Minimising impact, whilst necessary, can be seen as a defeatist position. Yes. If it is the only actions you promote. A case of treating the symptom instead of the disease. I would not want my council, elected or otherwise, to portray the view, oh well, it's happening, isn't it? So let's make the best of it, let's make it palatable. Yeah. Tread carefully, sir. When you set about establishing positions to monitor, aid compliance, manage traffic, act on complaints and allay concerns, if these are disingenuous, they could easily be construed as change management activities to promote an effective and seamless implementation. I ask that you do much, much, much more to genuinely represent our views, as you have now stated you seek to do. Not only with your words, but also by actively taking measures to halt any activities connected to the West Connex within our new local government area. By this I mean instigating injunctions, taking legal action, coordinating your efforts with independent councils, also in opposition, such as the City of Sydney. Slowing down progress to buy us time and investigate further options and measures. And most importantly, that you become a strong and active advocate, campaigning to win support amongst other councils, members of Parliament, and the general public in the mainstream media.
I'll make a few comments in response and then we'll turn to the motion. So, the need for the urgency of the legal advice, that is understood and accepted. We have already commissioned Tim Robertson SC, and as the comment has been made, he is eminent. He is a lateral thinker. He's not someone who will leave any stone unturned. There was a general view about we should be opposed to WestConnex, but less overt in attempting to do something to manage the impacts on our ratepayers. I don't support that. I think it's very important that as this $14 billion project rolls out, that people's lives are being affected now. this council, I have a responsibility to try to better manage that impact through compliance and ensuring that there is a one-stop shop in this council to deal with their concerns. Absolutely, the fundamental position is opposition, but I do have a duty, and I'm going to do it to protect the lives of individuals in this community as best I possibly can in relation to this project. There was a call for a community organiser position to be funded in an ongoing basis and a resolution tabled. I'm quite prepared to adopt that. That is an important grassroots position. And we're also happy to move that position onto a full-time basis rather than the part-time previously funded by the former councils. I will also give consideration to the frequency of meetings with the community groups and other key community members. It's not just groups. I appreciate that point that I think John made, that of course key community members are more than welcome to participate in that process. It's not about locking people out.